I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer it quickly, without thinking too hard. What are your core values? Go ahead. Name 3. I'll wait. Okay, whatever you just said, I want to gently suggest that those might not be your actual values. They might be your aspirational values, the values you're working toward, the values you were raised to believe in, the values that sound right when someone asks. But your actual values, those are quieter, less flattering sometimes, and almost nobody has taken the time to look at them honestly. That's what we're doing today. If you're in the self-awareness series with me, welcome back. Last week we looked at roles, the hats we wear, the ones we chose, and the ones nobody assigned us, but we've been carrying anyway. This week, we go one layer deeper, because underneath every role you play, there's a value driving it. And if you don't know what that value is, you're not driving your own life. Someone else's map is. Let's change that. I want to start with something that might reframe the last few years of your life. You've probably heard a lot about burnout, about doing too much, taking on too much, needing to rest more, say no more, protect your energy more. And some of that is true. But I think we've been diagnosing the wrong problem, because in my experience, and maybe in yours, the exhaustion isn't always about volume. It's about direction. Here's what I mean. Think about the last time you worked on something that genuinely mattered to you, something aligned with what you care about, even if it was hard, even if it took hours, even if it cost you something. How did you feel afterward? Tired, maybe, but a different kind of tired, the kind that feels earned, the kind you can sleep off. Now think about the last time you spent a full day doing things that felt hollow, obligatory, performed, the right things for the wrong reasons, or the wrong things entirely. That tiredness is different. It doesn't go away with rest. It accumulates. There's a name for what's happening in that second scenario. Psychologists call it cognitive dissonance, the mental and emotional stress that arises when your actions are in conflict with your beliefs, when what you're doing contradicts what you value at your core. Your brain registers that conflict as a threat. It's not dramatic. It doesn't announce itself. It just quietly drains you, day after day, until you call it burnout and wonder why a vacation didn't fix it. Here's the reframe I want to offer you. Most burnout isn't from working too hard. It's from working against yourself. You aren't tired because you're doing too much. You're tired because you're doing too much of the wrong things. And the only way to know what the wrong things are is to know what your values actually are. Which brings us to the real work of today. Before we get into the exercise, I want to spend a moment on why most people don't actually know their values, because it's not for lack of trying. The problem is how we typically go looking for them. Someone hands us a list: freedom, integrity, family, creativity, achievement, security. We scan it, nod at the ones that feel good, circle a few, and walk away thinking we've done the work. But choosing a value from a list is a bit like choosing your personality from a menu. The words feel true in the abstract. They don't tell you anything about how you actually live. Here's what does. Your behavior. Specifically, what you protect when you're under pressure. What you make time for without being asked. What you consistently sacrifice other things for, even when you tell yourself you won't. Your values aren't what you say when someone asks. They're what your life says when no one's watching. And there's another layer to this, one that connects directly to what we explored in Roles Week. Many of the values we think are ours aren't. Not originally. They were handed to us by our families, our culture, our early environments. The value of achievement that kept you studying when you didn't want to. The value of harmony that kept you quiet when you had something to say. The value of selflessness that made asking for help feel like failure. These aren't bad values. Some of them you'd choose again, but some of them are running your life on autopilot. And it's worth asking whether you'd still choose them if you had the choice. That's what we're about to find out. The draft framework starts with a dump, getting everything out of your head before you try to make sense of any of it. So before we get to the main exercise, I want you to do a quick dump on your values in the wild. Look at the last 7 days of your life, not the highlight reel, the actual week, and answer these 3 questions in writing. Even rough notes count. 1. Where did your time go without a fight? The things you did without negotiating with yourself, without procrastinating, without resentment. What were they? 2. Where did your money go without regret? Not the necessary expenses, the ones you chose, the ones that felt right, even if they weren't strictly logical. 3. What did you protect? When something had to give, when your schedule got tight, when a conflict arose, when you had to choose. What did you keep? What were you unwilling to let go of? Write it all down. Don't analyze it yet. That comes next, because what you just wrote is a first draft of your actual value system, not the aspirational one, the lived one. And now we're going to stress test it. This is the exercise I want you to sit with most today. I call it the forced choice test, and I'll warn you up front, it's going to feel uncomfortable. That discomfort is the point. Here are 10 values. I'm going to read them slowly. Freedom, security, creativity, achievement, connection, integrity, growth, service, authenticity, peace. Take a breath. Let them all land. Now, and this is the hard part, you can only keep 3. Not 5. Not 4. 3. The rest have to go. I know. It feels wrong, doesn't it? It feels like a trick question. Like choosing between your children. Like whoever designed this exercise clearly doesn't understand how complex a human being is. That feeling, that is exactly where your true self lives. Because the struggle you're feeling right now isn't confusion. It's clarity, trying to surface. When you resist giving up freedom, that's information. When giving up connection feels physically uncomfortable, that's information. When you surprised yourself by holding on to peace instead of achievement, especially if you'd have predicted the opposite, that is very significant information. Take the time to actually do this. Pause the video if you need to. Write your 3 down, and then ask yourself this. Do the 3 you kept match the life you're currently living? Because if your 3 are freedom, creativity, and authenticity, but your days are structured around security, achievement, and others' expectations of service, that gap has a name, and you've probably been feeling it for a while. In the draft framework, after the dump comes refine, the step where you start to make meaning out of what you've surfaced. The values gap is your first act of refining. It's simple to define. The distance between the values you just identified as your truest the ones you couldn't give up in the forced choice test, and the values your current life is actually organized around. That gap is not a moral failing, it's a map. It shows you exactly where the cognitive dissonance is living in your life, where the drain is coming from, why certain decisions feel harder than they should, why certain environments leave you feeling like a stranger in your own skin. And here's the most important thing I want you to take from today. Your values are your internal compass, not a productivity system, not a goal-setting framework, not a vision board, a compass. And a compass only works if you know where it's actually pointing, not where you wish it pointed, not where it used to point, not where the people around you think it should point. If you don't know your true values, you will always be navigating by someone else's map, and you'll always feel slightly, persistently, inexplicably lost. Knowing them doesn't solve everything, but it means every decision you make from here has a reference point, a thing to check against, a way of asking, does this move me toward myself or away? And that question alone changes everything. I want to leave you with the question I find myself coming back to again and again, the one that sits underneath everything we talked about today. What would you refuse to give up, even if it cost you? Not what you think you should refuse to give up, what you actually would. That answer, honest and unguarded, is the beginning of knowing yourself. If you want to go deeper on this, I've linked the draft framework reference card below. It's free, and it's a good place to continue. Leave your 3 values in the comments, the ones you couldn't give up. There's something clarifying about writing them down somewhere public. It makes them a little more real. If this series is resonating with you, subscribe. We go deeper every week. Next week, we move further into self-awareness, and it builds on everything you've done today. Until next time, keep drafting.